Y'all bear with me on YouTube. I pressed the wrong button on IG to go live. When love enters, the whole spiritual constitution of a man changes. It's filled with the Holy Ghost, and almost his form is altered. D.H. Lawrence. Grand Rising! If you are a first time viewer, welcome. My name is Joseph Long, and I thank you for tuning in. To my returning viewers, hello, friends, and thank you for your consistent support. Today, September 16th, is Mexican Independence Day. Viva Mexico! Today's meditation is dedicated to all our Mexican brothers and sisters in the world. Today's practice is in honor of all those that stand for the freedom of all people. Most importantly, for all those who stand for the freedom of self, each individual. For true freedom, there is always this concept of rising. The freedom of America came at the great cost, but it came because some individuals decided to rise up against circumstances, rise up against outside influence, rise up against their own fear, their own cowardice. So we're going to have to learn to rise up as well. That's the very definition of meditation, to rise up. So as we prepare for our own individual, in our Constitution, where we can write and say, we the people, we the spiritual experience, aspiration, we are seeking freedom. And then the rest of the words need to come from you. And let's especially draw upon the presence and grace of those who have risen and found their freedom. Fortunately, they have left us a clear roadmap, a very well laid down constitution of practices and techniques and attitudes and actions, an entire way of life that's not always easy, but it always demands for us that we rise, every one of them. And so we feel their presence in our heart, whoever they may be to you. So, what we'll do today will be a little bit of an introspective journey, something that just shows us what our current constitution is, which means that what is the current frame around which we live our lives? What are the principles? What are the expectations? What are the do's and don'ts that we follow every day? And in the same process, we need to also identify our oppressors, those who keep us in slavery, those tendencies that rule our minds, our feelings, and our actions. But before we start today's practice, if you haven't already done so, please click the like, click the like button right now. Click the like, click the like button right now. And also comment. And today, for today's practice, is really crucial to me that you provide me your feedback. Now, today's session is going to be a long one, so you might want to set the timer for however long you can um, dedicate to this practice. I try not to make it too long. So this is where your feedback comes in. I need to know if you would have preferred that I did the pauses a little longer, added more pauses, if it was just right. Your feedback for this practice is really will be really appreciated. And if you could also like the comments, remember this helps this channel, this platform, our community, our channel to grow. And if you care to share. And don't forget, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, Inspirational Moments with Joseph Long, to do that as well. And to hit that notification button. And if you're hitting that notification for the first time, especially to my first time subscribers, make sure, and even if you have been a subscriber for a while, make sure your notifications are set on all ALL. Now, these may seem like small gestures to you, but to me, to this platform, it is huge. And it will greatly help with my algorithms. So in advance, I thank you. Let us begin. Let's sit upright. Straighten your spine and relax your shoulders. Do open your heart. Especially in the heart is where lies all our bindings, all our chains. But also in there is the very vehicle of our salvation. There is so much power in our hearts. If only we learn to channel that energy toward our freedom. So let's focus just for a moment on those things that bind us. I'd like for us to just introspect just what we did today. And if you're doing this meditation, especially those of you that's on here live, if you're doing this meditation in the morning, think about what you did yesterday. Nothing more. One day should be plenty to give us an understanding of our current state of awareness and consciousness. And we're trying to identify those things that helped raise our energy and our awareness, and those things that drew us downward into greater bondage. So let's start, each of us, how we awoke in the morning. Did we awake with a sense of joy and purpose? Or did we just somehow step out of our bed, not quite sure, not quite even interested? What are the first thoughts that come to us when we wake up? What are the first actions we perform after having taken care of the body and its needs? Do we energize? Do we do some yoga? Do we meditate? Do we try to awaken in us a greater sense of purpose and joy? Continue on this journey. Who do we interact with in our home? What kind of interaction is it? Uplifting or just factual? Loving or irritable? Are you restless and agitated? Or do we feel calm, relaxed? Just let this introspection guide you in its own way. You know what you did today or yesterday, what you ate, what you said. How did you use your day? Did you use it by going deeper and deeper into the subconscious state or being lazy? Did you express greater freedom to expand your mind and consciousness to open yourself up to greater possibilities? Go through especially how you felt throughout, asking what trend or a feeling ran throughout the day. Boredom, indifference, excitement, enthusiasm, joy, agitation, relaxation. And keep identifying, when did you feel uplifted? And when did you feel just about present or just about aware, but not quite trying to recreate our own constitution that we will follow? What are those habits and tendencies that find their way into our life again and again, drawing your mind downward, drawing your awareness towards the self rather than towards the divine? Who were the people that you met? How do they make you feel? Did they uplift you? Did you uplift them? The most important thing about freedom that we must understand is that everything counts when it comes to freedom. Nothing we do can be dismissed. Nothing we do is irrelevant. There are always only two options, rather moving towards the light or further away. We're never just staying in the same place, even in our own consciousness. Every thought, every action, every word we speak propels us to either of these two directions. And I want us to really feel, what are the choices we make? Do we even make them? Or are they made for us? That is the very direction, the very definition of bondage, of slavery, where we don't make these decisions anymore. How easily do we give into moods? How quickly do we get irritated at those around you? How easily does your mind drift away in the middle of a conversation? All of these are indicators of our freedom or the lack of it. And as we celebrate Mexican Independence Day or the independence of your own country, can we also pin down our own spiritual constitution? How is it that we represent and express our freedoms? And will we rise in them or will we fall? Go through the day all the way to the end, all the way to this very moment, and ask what you ate. Did you eat greedily? Did you stuff yourself? Just try to go into the details of the experiences of the day. Did you serve others? Did you serve yourself first? Did you cook? If somebody else cooked, did you thank them? Did you compliment them? Or did you just assume that that's what they do? Just find that stream of consciousness that runs through you, and let's really define that stream right now. Create a baseline. Just watch this process as impersonally as you can. Don't judge yourself. Don't even worry about every little thing. Know only that you are ready to learn and that you want to grow. That is the first step towards freedom. Watch already if your mind is restless, agitated, bored, ready to drift away, or even in this tiny little focused exercise, how much of it is under your control? From here, let's drift now into a visualization of our ideal day. If you were not bound by any habit, by any desires and attachments, if you were not bound by your likes and dislikes, by your life circumstances, what would your day look like? How would you wake up? What would you do the first thing? What would you eat? Who would you be with? How would you relate and interact with those people around you? What work would you do? Who would you serve? Just run through now another day, but this time make note of everything that you think is the freedom that you want. Is your soul freedom being expressed? And begin to write that constitution based on this one ideal day. How long would you meditate? What would be the state of your consciousness? What life purpose would you fulfill? Focus especially on who you would fulfill it with. Who are these people? Rather imaginary or real, rather already in your life or not yet in your life. There is no limit right now. In your mind, you are completely free, burdened by no karma, no past, no compulsion. Build your constitution now. Build the framework of your freedom. Use the lives of the ancestors if you must to draw inspiration from. How did they live every day of their lives? How much of your time during the day would you spend on preoccupations and worries and fears and unreasonable expectations of others, of circumstances, of yourself? How much of your day would you spend just doing things you do not enjoy purely for the sake of making money? How much of your time will you spend with people who are negative, uninteresting, and those who suck life force right out of you? And how much of your time will you spend and give to those in need? The beauty of every year celebrating these days is that they are reminders that anything can change and that nothing needs to remain the same. That we are not slaves of the past, in that the future is yet unwritten, and that we hold the pen and we hold the paper, and with our higher powers' guidance, we can create a life for ourselves that reflects truly the freedom we so desperately crave. Freedom, above all, from ego identity, from the bondage of the limited self. Keep making that mental note of everything you would do if you were not compelled, otherwise, by habit, by your current thought patterns, by your preconceptions, by circumstances, and by people around you. What does freedom look like? Let's just meditate on this feeling above all. And it's not a mental state that we must make. We must etch this feeling into our hearts. That's where we must write the Constitution in our hearts. While we are feeling this and meditating on this, let's bring our attention to the breath as the anchor so that our own imagination just doesn't run wild and become more of a fantasy than an aspiration. Anchor your awareness in your breath. Let it keep you very much in the present moment. Feel the breath flowing through your spiritual life, enlivening this visualization, empowering everything, intention and thought you are creating for your freedom. Watch also how the breath behaves, how still it already is. Just in imagining how beautiful the day you could live if you choose to, see how the breath reacts to that visualization. So still, so calm. Enter into the breath now and use it as a vehicle to expand and enlarge in your understanding of who you truly are, because the freedom that we are visualizing is still very much from an egoic perspective of ourselves. It still reflects to a certain degree our own limited desires, our own limited understanding, even of this universe and our place in it. So while we have a framework and aspiration, let us not even stop there, but go beyond. And the breath will be our tool. Enter into the breath and come out on the other side to a state of breathlessness, if you can. And let's just hold this state now for the next 5 minutes in silence, allowing everything that we have done to integrate into our hearts, into our consciousness as we rise in freedom. Let go of your breath now, if you haven't already, and just rest in this state of freedom, even from the breath of all thoughts. Behind the breath and thought, all that exists is just your pure consciousness of your being compelled by nothing and forced to do absolutely nothing. And everything that springs forth from this state of pure consciousness, only that has true power in this world, everything else is just bondage. We'll see choices over and over again, and we will be moved closer to the light or further away. Let's end this meditation by holding loving kindness for each soul on earth, for their freedom of choice, to choose always the right environment, the right company, to choose those actions that brings us in harmony with the divine within us. Let's claim for the freedom that comes by fulfilling our responsibilities, by being truthful, by being loyal, by choosing kindness, by choosing giving rather than taking. Freedom comes from choosing the light and trusting that the more we are aligning ourselves with the spiritual values, that's where true success lies. Let's see that everyone on earth realizes the importance of freedom of choice and that they use that free will, that choice, in perfect harmony with their highest self. Now let's rub our hands together, magnetizing that light that is already within us, ready to be expressed through our arms, through our hands, and out into the world, reaching out to every single soul. And so it is. If you liked this meditation and haven't already done so, please click the like, click the like, click the like button right now. Thank you. Now, it's 36 after, so I'm just going to skim through the comments. I'm really going to be for the comments relating to today's practice, relating to freedom, Mexican Independence Day, independence in your country, independence within yourself, this practice itself. What did you get out this practice? You don't have to be very personal, but as far as what did you see? What did you learn about yourself? Or what were you reminded about yourself as far as how your day went, how yesterday went, what your ideal looked like? Most importantly, what did your ideal day look like versus how your day actually went? So I'm looking for those comments. I see Miss Pat on here. Grand rising to you, just because I'm trying to help my channel, help our platform. Let me type some greetings to you all. I didn't get to do that earlier. Miss Pat, grand rising to you. Miss Prayer Chaplain is on here. Grand rising to you. Okay. Eager to participate in and explore this meditation. Have a great week, meditation fam. Hashtag spiritual constitution. One of the hashtags in my description. Miss Pamela is in the house. Grand rising to you, Pamela. Stepping into our spirituality with confidence and authenticity. Yes, being true to self. Y'all Speaks is in the house. All right, Grand Rising to you, y'all speaks, Grand Rising to you, Pamela, Grand Rising to you, Prayer Chaplain. Miss Talisa is in the house, Grand Rising, beautiful, as she types in spiritual constitution. Good subject. I'm just saying it. I could imagine how you said it. So, Grand Rising to you. And you know what? When I do these, I'm going to say special meditations, um, topics that's not typical. I like this one. I'm like, I wonder what was their first thought when they saw this title. Yeah. Oh, quite a few of you are on YouTube. I got 10 people on here live and all. I mean, 7 people on here live. You see, I wanted to see 10. 7 people on here live, and all of you gave me the thumbs up. Thank you for that. Moving on along on IG, quite a few of you on here, even though it's telling me one live, but I know that is a illusion. Sports Chick, who's also prayer chaplain, is on both platforms. Thank you for the activity on both platforms. Thank you for the heart emojis I see moving up on Instagram. Bernie, my healer extraordinaire, is in the house. Grand Rising to you. Alexis is in the house. Grand Rising to you, Alexis. I love how Instagram and let me virtually wave at you all. I think you've been, yes, you came for a second dose. G-Man, good to see you. Grand Rising to you, friend. Okay, see who else is on here. Sports Chick with hashtag global. Happy Mexican Independence Day. Thank you for touching and agreeing on that. I'm not Mexican, but I have quite a few Mexican friends. Some of them I consider my brothers and sisters from another mother. Yes, and this holiday inspired today's practice. Hope you liked it. Miss Shannon, Grand Rising to you, my friend. I think this is a first timer. 9door_13WR. Grand Rising to you if you are still on here. I want to let you know that I appreciate you for tuning in. You could have tuned anywhere. You could have been doing anything else on this time at this time, and you decided to stop by for a moment. And for that, I am grateful. We are grateful. This meditation community, this meditation family. Grand Rising to you. Miss Pat is on both platforms. Thank you for the activity, Miss Pat, on both platforms. As always, wishing us a good morning. Hashtag global. And on YouTube, I did see you reminded us to to view, comment, share, like, and hit that notification button. Remember to make sure your notifications are set on all. Oh, what else I wanted to say? I think that's about, global. This is definitely, if not, when this is almost like one of those world peace meditations. This is definitely a global week. We're not only talking about independence, freedom in Mexico, but we're talking about freedom everywhere. Most importantly, we're talking about freedom within self, freedom in your heart, freedom to express as you are, express truly as you are. As someone said it, being authentic. Expressing freedoms and caring and being kind to one another. Again, most importantly, to self. All right, so thank you all for joining me in today's practice. We will reconnect tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube and Instagram channels. Know that I love you and I appreciate you. Peace and blessings. Mwah.